All right, welcome to another case study interview. My name is Prince Phil Chuka, and with me here today, I've got Dr. Praise. So, welcome, Dr. Praise. Now, this case study is very special to me because this is actually one of the first females I've had to interview on one of these case study, things. It's been mostly guys, and I've gotten tired of seeing their face. I wanted to have more women that are winning in the community come out. And there are quite a lot of them, but sometimes they are shy. And I have to convince them extra to get on this call. So welcome, Dr. Praise. I'm so happy that you made it here.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All
Thank
right.
you.
So the whole goal of this call is to kind of unbundle your journey inside the PDF Profit Blueprints. Just sort of put an X-ray on your story and just show people why it makes sense, and and anything they can glean from your story. Because when I tell my story, some people can relate to it, why some people cannot. But some people are going to look at you and they're going to see a mirror of themselves, and they will just say, if Dr. Praise can do it, there is a 100% chance I can do it as well. So that's why it's just so important. Give me a fair idea. When did you join the PDF Profit Blueprint?
Okay, so I think I was one of the people who pre-ordered before the official launch day,
Okay.
right? Actually, because I've been following you on Twitter, and so
Okay.
I've been seeing your posts on Twitter, but I paid for it before the launch. I think the launch was March 24th or so, right?
Okay.
But I didn't actually study the course until say April. I
Okay.
think it was in April I actually studied the course because I have a very, very tight schedule. As a doctor, you get, so it's not very, very easy to like get down. In fact, funny enough, I actually studied that course while at work. So
Wow.
in moments where I didn't have patience, I would just sit down with my notes and everything, right, and all that. You get, so I actually started studying the course April, and typically April, I actually started April, but work and all has not exactly really helped me a lot with
Right.
implementing and like doing everything I should be doing. But yeah, April.
So you mentioned something in passing I was actually going to ask you about because, you know, your name is Dr. Praise. So I wanted to find out if you are a practicing medical doctor or if it's a honorary doctorate degree,
No, 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 no. I'm a
kind of thing.
practicing
So
doctor.
you're a practicing medical doctor.
Yes, an
I have double
optometrist actually.
respect. I have double respect for you now. Okay. So, um, so how many products have you launched now since you joined the program?
Okay, so I've been able to launch three products actually, two within the health niche, one in parenting, right? But I'm majorly focusing on one. The other ones are like
Okay.
side ones. Oh, are they going to work? And then I try them out and they actually do pull in sales. But there's just one that I'm really like looking at the moment. But three products.
So it's been 2 months at least of you being in the program, and you've
Yeah,
already launched three products. I have to say
yeah.
that your execution is great compared to other
Thank
people
you.
that I've spoken with. You're executing really fast, and I can see you're already building a big library. Because to have three products that are all doing well in their own right
Yeah.
is actually impressive. So, give me a fair number among these three products. How much have you pulled in revenue in the last 2 months?
Okay. So, like I said, I didn't really, really practice. So, April for me was more of oh, just getting. And before I pull in my numbers, let me just give. I actually had quite the challenge with starting out because for some reason, my website got hacked, right? My website got hacked, and so I had to like start the whole process over again. But anyway, for one of the products, I've been able to sell. Okay, for one of the products, I've been able to sell about 70 copies of the base product. I usually sell my products, all my products are at 9,800. I didn't change price or
Okay.
anything, right? So 70, then with 10 upsells, upsell is 45,000, right? Then for the
So I'm
second one,
okay.
For the second one, 20, and then for the last one I just launched, I think yesterday, I've had one till.
All right, so I'm doing the rough calculations, and from the first product, that's an approximate 1.4, 1.5 million.
Yes, when you add the
Yeah,
upsell. Yeah,
yes. Okay.
yes.
So you have done 1.4 million at least with one product. The second product has just kicked off. That's amazing. That's very impressive. So, but before you joined the PDF Profit Blueprint, now before you joined the program, you're in a different space now. You know it works, right? But before you joined, did you have any reservation as to this might be one of those things that don't work, and people just say this guy is trying to sell a course, and this might not work? Did you have any objections like that in your mind?
Uh, sincerely, sincerely, I know this is something that would work, right? I knew this was something that would actually work because I I think I have an understanding of like psychology and like demand, and when you're solving people's
Okay,
problems, they will typically pay you,
awesome.
right? I mean, as a doctor, I do know that working in a hospital, it's really hard for people don't consider money when they have a problem, right?
Yeah,
People don't typically consider money when they have a problem, and most of the time they're really more focused about solving their problems than actually considering the price of it, except it's generally outside their scope completely. So I knew it was going to work. I was just very much interested in the mechanics of how it gets to work. Like, oh, what do you do? How do you really set this thing up in a way that you really tap into people's issues and all and make money from it? So was I skeptical about whether it will work or not? Not really. I just wanted to know
okay,
the mechanics of how it actually does work, right? And I've been following you on Twitter for a while now. I know your track record, so I think there was that confidence as well, knowing that, oh, if Prince Will is doing this, then definitely it's working.
awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much for that vote of confidence. All right, so I'm curious. One of the things that stops people from really growing this business is some of the skills that they have to learn, right? Some people are new to using AI. I recall that there are some
Okay.
people I had to teach how to actually prompt, right? Not just giving them the prompt. I
Yeah.
had to teach them where to paste it. And there's
Yeah.
some people I didn't bother doing that for. Well, there are some people who did not have any idea about advertising, which seems to be like the biggest technical setback. So, were there any technical setbacks you had to overcome? Were you new to any of the skills that you have now?
Okay. So, like I said, I had my website hacked right at the beginning, right? So that I'm not necessarily very new to setting up funnels, right? Because I've been doing that since like 2021, although typically just for leads, generating leads and all, right? However, I think one of the major issues I had was having to like sort out a hacked website, right? I think second one would be with setting up my pixels. I think at the initial stage, I chose a category. I chose a category for setting. It was a mistake. I didn't know until like when I started, right? So you know how like Meta is typically like very about health products,
Yeah,
right? So
yeah,
when I set up my pixel, I went to choose health category. So I was like, so it's
try.
almost as if like I brought myself out for them to like
Yes.
say, oh, so you want to sell
we are
health, Abby?
we
Yeah,
have
so
caught you.
exactly. So those were like the two major issues I had. And typically what I did was while I was studying the course, I was writing, right? So as I studied, I wrote, as I studied, I wrote. And typically what I just did was everything you did, everything you were saying, the course is very, very straight to the point and all. So I had my laptop as you were talking, anything I need to do, I just do it immediately at that moment. So there wasn't really a point. I was literally just following you, like following you as you were saying. And so um
Awesome.
most of the things I didn't get or I didn't understand, I just had to go back and like rewatch again, and it was amazing.
All right. Okay. One final word before. Okay, just two more questions I have.
Okay.
I know you have a business to run and a work to get to. Um, 1.4, 1.5 million in revenue, right? And I know you've spent money on ads. So do you have any idea what that number is? Because a lot of people hear that you make money selling PDFs, but the
Yeah.
one thing I always like to let them know is we actually spend money to get this
Spend
money.
money.
People,
Yeah.
we don't just create this product and out of the blue they get sales, right? We have a
Yeah.
system where we actually use ad spend to buy traffic that brings money. So,
Yeah.
do you have a fair idea of how much you've spent so far in ads?
Yes. So around say 450 to 500 actually.
Okay,
Around
all
450
right.
to 500 in total so far.
So, if I was to just approximate 450 to 500 to bring back 1.4 to 1.5 million naira in revenue, that's a good
Mm.
3x margin, and it is impressive. You're doing amazing. All right,
Thank
so
you.
just before I let you go, one last word for somebody who's looking at joining this program. They're doing their research and they're checking out Princeville online to know whether the things I'm saying are true, whether all the testimonies are true, and they are listening to you now. What advice would you give them?
Okay. So one advice I would give is if it's a matter of wondering if it's true or not, I think that shouldn't be your problem, right? I think for whoever is trying to get started, move beyond whether this is true to how can I make this work and how can I make this my reality, right? Because
Yes.
if it's true, if it's a matter of it being true, it is. It is very true, and it's not just an online scam out there. It's actually founded on um age-old principles, psychology, how humans behave, how humans buy, and all that. So there's no question about whether it's going to work or whether it's true. And so typically I would just advise you to think about how you can make it work for yourself because it definitely does work.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time, Dr. Praise. Really appreciate, and I hope this helps someone out there. And I'll see you inside the community.
Thank you.